Yeah, definitely hard to stay positive after that weekend, but still grateful to all of you guys.
What a race for Mercedes, huh? Especially for our 7-time champion, Lewis Hamilton. Just imagine, you're starting in 3rd place on the grid thinking you're in for a smooth Sunday, and then everything falls apart. That's pretty much what happened to Hamilton in Singapore. A race that started with hope and ended in total frustration. In this video, we're going to unravel the mystery behind this Mercedes race. The controversial soft tire strategy that left everyone scratching their heads. Those radio messages. Is Hamilton's imminent departure making Mercedes treat him indifferently? We're going to discuss it. And what on earth happened after the race? Why did Hamilton disappear? If you haven't subscribed yet, you know what to do. Let's get to the point. Let's start by dissecting this crazy Mercedes strategy that left Hamilton frustrated from the start of the race. Mercedes decided to start Hamilton on soft tires. Yes, you heard that right. Softs. While practically everyone else was on mediums in the top 10, only he gambled on this risky move. The craziest part? Hamilton wasn't happy with this idea at all. According to sources, he even fought against this strategy behind the scenes. Can you picture that? A 7-time world champion saying, "Guys, this isn't going to work." And the team like, "Trust us." Now, why on earth did Mercedes do this? The idea was to gain positions right from the start, taking advantage of the extra grip from the softs. They had their eyes on Verstappen, wanting to overtake the Dutchman right away, and we all know how that went. And here's the burning question. Who came up with this brilliant idea? Who was the mastermind behind this move? The fact is, this decision ended up compromising Hamilton's entire race. Now let's rewind the race so you can understand a bit. Hamilton got off to a good start but couldn't pass Verstappen. And then, my friends, the British driver's nightmare began. The soft tires, which were supposed to be his secret weapon, turned into a ticking time bomb. Hamilton started losing pace rapidly. On the radio, you could already hear that tone of desperation. "Man, the tires are going away." And it didn't stop there. Hamilton had to pit earlier than everyone else. The result? He rejoined the track in the middle of the pack, having to defend tooth and nail. From 3rd to 6th in the blink of an eye. You can feel the guy's frustration, right? The worst part was that while Hamilton was struggling with the hard tires, the rest of the field was flying on the mediums. It was as if he was racing in a different category. The guy was literally swimming against the tide. And you remember that saying about how tough it is to overtake in Singapore? Well, Hamilton found that out the hard way. He got stuck behind slower cars, losing precious time each lap. In the end, what was supposed to be an aggressive strategy to fight for the podium turned into a desperate struggle to save a few points. Now let's talk about those heartbreaking radio messages. Around the middle of the race, Hamilton dropped this gem. "You're killing me with this offset, man." You could feel the frustration in his voice, guys. It was like he was screaming help in code. But the peak was when he said, "There's definitely something wrong with the car." It was as if he'd lost all confidence, not just in the strategy, but in the car itself. And the team? Well, they were kind of speechless. It was that awkward silence. The weirdest part was that it seemed like Hamilton wasn't even in the loop about the decisions. Like, did he not even participate in the pre-race meeting? This raises some interesting questions about how things are going at Mercedes. Everyone knows he's leaving at the end of the year, but the treatment he seems to be receiving in his final year. After everything he's done for the team. In the end, Mercedes boss Toto Wolff apologized to Hamilton over the radio. He admitted they'd given him a car that wasn't good enough and misread the race entirely. But you know what's crazier? Even with all this mess, Hamilton still managed to finish 6th. Imagine if the strategy had been good. 2024 is Hamilton's final year with Mercedes. Everyone already knows he'll be wearing Ferrari red next year. But is this affecting the dynamics within the team? Things are a bit strange, right? Like, we're seeing decisions and strategies that just don't make sense. It's as if Mercedes has forgotten about Hamilton and what he's capable of. Some people are even talking about differential treatment. Now, we're not saying sabotage or anything, but could Hamilton's impending departure be sidelining him in crucial decisions? It's that old story. Is Mercedes thinking more about a future without Hamilton than the present with him? These are questions we don't have answers to, but they're definitely on a lot of people's minds. And check this out. While Hamilton is struggling, George Russell, the future of the team, seems to be getting more attention. Coincidence? Maybe. But it's got people talking. So what happened after the race? Things got even more interesting. First, Hamilton simply didn't show up for the post-race interviews. He vanished. Mercedes released a statement saying both he and Russell were too exhausted to talk to the press. Okay then. But let's be real, we've seen Hamilton give interviews after way more exhausting races. Toto Wolff tried to put out the fire. He said, "We gave Lewis a car that wasn't good enough here, and obviously we read the race wrong." But you know when you feel there's more to the story? Yeah, that's it. The commentators didn't hold back. Martin Brundle, former driver and now commentator, even said he'd never seen Hamilton so frustrated. And Brundle's seen a lot in F1. But what really stood out was Hamilton's silence. Normally, even after bad races, he always says something. This time, nothing. Zero. What could be going through his mind? And the fans? Oh man, social media was on fire. Some were defending Hamilton, others were criticizing Mercedes. There were even conspiracy theories floating around. Let's talk about what might happen moving forward, because the season isn't over yet, right? First up, Mercedes. They're in a tough spot. On one hand, they need to show Hamilton that they still care. After all, the guy's a living legend. On the other hand, they're already looking to the future with Russell. And Hamilton? Well, he's in a bit of an awkward position. One foot's in Mercedes and the other's in Ferrari. Could this be affecting his performance? His mind might already be in 2025, but his body is still in 2024. Then there's the matter of car upgrades. Will Mercedes focus on improvements that suit Russell's driving style more than Hamilton's, since Russell is the one staying? And let's not forget about Ferrari. They're watching all this from the sidelines. Could they be getting worried, seeing their future driver caught in this tricky situation? One thing's for sure, the upcoming GPs will be a serious test for the Hamilton-Mercedes relationship. So folks, what do you think will happen from here on out? Will Mercedes be able to sort things out and give Hamilton a decent end to the season? Or are we going to see more of these tense moments until the end of the year? One thing is certain. The Hamilton-Mercedes relationship, which used to be one of the happiest marriages in F1, is going through a rough patch. The question is whether they'll be able to end this historic partnership in style, or if things will get even stranger. Will we see Hamilton on the podium again this year? Or will Mercedes put all their chips on Russell? Drop your thoughts in the comments about this whole situation. Does Hamilton still have a shot at winning this year? Or is it all over? Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the analysis, share it with your F1 friends, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates in this season's final stretch. We still have a lot to see this year, and I want to discuss it all with you. Thanks everyone, see you next time.